Alright guys, I know I haven't uploaded in like 2 weeks, but I promise you it's just that I've been really busy with comms and all that kind of stuff. But I'm back now and I hope to like make more videos more frequently, maybe like every 3 days because yeah. Okay, so in this video I was gonna really just break down my workflow on how I make hair because a lot of people have been asking like how do you make hair and stuff, and I promise you it's not that difficult once you learn on how to actually do it because it's pretty straightforward, and all I really gotta say now is just trust the process, bro. Like just trust the process. It's gonna be quite difficult at the start and it's gonna be like pretty bad in the start, but the more you like go through like actually making the hair, it's just gonna look better and better and better, like I promise you. All right, so first off, you want to take some references. So where you can find references is just go on Pinterest, for example, and just Google up like anime hair. In this video, specifically, I'm gonna be doing anime hair, and the thing about anime hair, right, is that it all stems from one single point, compared to normal hair, which kind of flows with your head, like your head shape. Anime hair usually stems from a single point. So, for example, I was gonna do maybe this hair for this, right? And you can see how every single hair strand is just connected at the one single area right here, right? So taking this reference into Blender. So what you want to do first is you want to kind of analyze how the strands kind of work in conjunction with each other. So as you can see, her bangs here, they all connect at the single point up here, and so does her. I don't know what it's called, like side hair, whatever. Like the rest of her hair just connects everything to a single point basically, and then it just kind of flows. But yeah, so I'll be breaking down on how I make this in this video. No, I'm not the best at making hairs, but I'm pretty decent. Anyways, there's also two different methods to when it comes to making hair. I'll be showing you all three of them in this video. Um, but yeah, first way is to obviously you just add a cube, you scale down a little bit. Then you delete these two faces. You take these two, right, and you drag them inwards a little bit like this. Then you wanna 2 or 3 loop cuts. It depends on you. It doesn't really matter. And you wanna take this bottom half. I'll select everything here. You press and merge at center. I mean M, and then press at center, right? And this is a little bit too thick. Maybe something like that or like this, right? Then you want to shade smooth and apply it. And then what you want to do is you want to add a subsurface modifier. You want to take all 4 corners like this, right? So you want to select all 4 corners by using holding down Alt, pressing Shift, and then clicking. And then you're gonna press N on your keyboard to get this tab up here, and you want to increase this up, right? So this is one way of making hair, and then you just kind of copy paste these strands around like this, right? And you can connect them, but that's not the way I prefer making hair. What I prefer to do is I usually go here, I add a path. Let me just see here. So it starts like kind of here, her hair. So and then you want to make sure the last point is lined up with the middle of the head. So what you can do to like line it up is to use these back. I don't know what this is called, the grid pattern in Blender, and you kind of want to line it up like this, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be like kind of accurate, like somewhere in the vicinity. Anyways, then what I like to do is I press Shift A again. I add a circle. Now this circle is gonna act as your primary like kind of shape manipulator, and this is just gonna be like your hair strand basically. So what you want to do is you want to click on this, right? You want to go down here. You want to click on geometry, object, and then you want to select this. Now it's gonna be super big, right? But all you gotta do is go into edit mode, press hold Alt and then S, and just scale it down until it fits like a nice size basically. And then what I like to do is I want like to make the edges sharp. So which again just select it, hold down Alt, left Alt, and press S, and then just kind of scale it down. Normal scaling won't work with curves. Like pressing S won't work unless you're in object mode. Then it will work. But in edit mode, you have to press Alt S. Then you, of course, when you want to have references from all sides, so one front like this, I'm gonna copy that, turn it 90 degrees over, turn it to the side, right? So you have both the side and front view now. What I like to do first is I like to look at the main branch of hair that is gonna make up the majority of the hair part first, right? So for in this instance, it will be this hair right here, this hair strand. Sorry. So it starts off and then it splits off into three different branches that you can see here, but they're all connected to one single branch, right? I mean one single strand. So how I would do this, right, is I would just start, begin and model, I mean shape this curve to kind of like this first strand here, right? So it goes from the top here and it goes straight down and it turns into this branch or this hair strand, I should say. And this hair strand is kind of wrinkled like this. Wrinkled, I mean angled. Sorry. Oh shit. And then you can scale up these parts if you think they're too small. Right now I think they're a bit too small, so I'm gonna scale them up. And what I like to do is usually also do this. So these 2 points are vertically aligned with each other. It just looks a little bit better in my opinion, but it's all personal preference on what you want to do. And then, just begin moving stuff around like this until you think it looks pretty decent. So this is your first hash right here. This is gonna be your first. And if you look at this here, right, once we get to the side parts here, it's all mirrored. Each and every single strand has their like mirror component, right? So what we're gonna do when we get to like here, it's just that we're gonna mirror the hair, right, to the other side. Anyways, so let's start begin working on the bangs. So we just made this first strand here, right? Now we wanna copy this. So we're gonna press A, select everything, Shift D to copy it. You wanna move it a little bit over on the y-axis. We'll go to the top. Then you wanna line it up, right? So you wanna make sure these points are lined up, and then you wanna separate it. And now what we do is we take this and we move it around a little bit. And now, of course, we can scale it down, or we can scale it up. Doesn't matter. Whatever you think looks good. But remember that you always want to stem out from the main branch of hair. So we're not gonna copy this one now. We're still gonna copy and focus on this one. So we're gonna copy this again. Go over, press Y, top view. We're gonna go to the side here. We're gonna move it a little bit so it's kind of sitting on top of each other. And then we're gonna start working again. So what we just made is we just made these two strands right here. They're not very accurate. They're just kind of, as I said in the beginning, it's all like trust the process and trial and error. So we're gonna continue modeling this. So this one you might want to drag down a little bit. It's like something. It looks something like that, right? Something like this, right? You can manipulate these so you can like move them over a little bit like this. Hold on, let me see here. Yeah, so this one is like a little bit more, because right now we're working on this strand right here, right? So this one is a little bit more like outward like this, and a little bit more, a little what's it called? A little thinner than the rest of the ones. For example, this one. So that's this strand right here, right? And now we're gonna work on the fourth strand, which is this one. So we're gonna take this again, move it over. Rotate it. Top view. We're gonna press X, Y, and rotate it a little bit more, maybe. Y again, X. Separate it. And now we're just gonna manipulate these strands right here, right? So they kind of line up with the reference and just looks good. Hold on here. So this one is kind of big, right? And it kind of undershadows this one right here. So with this one, we're gonna move it out a little bit more. We're gonna take this one. We're gonna kind of like merge them together, if that makes sense. Like not merge them, but like they're gonna be overlapping each other. I'm gonna take this one and we're gonna drag it out a little bit more. And we might make this a little bit thinner on these 2 points here. just to make this strand a little bit more dominant than the other ones. And maybe drag them up a little bit like this. Something like that, probably. Drag that. Yeah. Something like that, right? Now we kind of got the 4 main strands down, right? We're gonna work on the detailing later, which is layering these strands so they look a little bit better. But yeah. is we're just gonna copy that, and we're just gonna make it a little bit smaller. We're just gonna scale it down. Alt S. I mean, separate it. Sorry. And we're just gonna drag it out a little bit. And this, it's fine if this piece of hair is just a little bit like sticking out like this. But just look at how much detail that I just added like instantly. Like it just added like a lot more charisma to the hair, basically. And then we're just gonna do the same here. We're just gonna do this one, scale it down a little bit, and this one is basically these like sub parents or whatever of this strand of here, right? And because this is like a sub thingy, you want it to be less dominant in the actual view, like this right here, like this one. So you kind of want to like scale it down the top a little bit so it doesn't like stick up over the main branch of hair. And then you kind of just want to do this for like almost every single piece of hair, right? You just kind of want to scale up, scale down a little bit. I mean, copy it and stuff, and just kind of layer it on top of each other, right? Something like that, maybe. Yeah. Part of detailing. So as I said in the beginning of the video, this is gonna act as your primary like detailer, I guess you can call it. Now you're just gonna kind of play around with the circle to, because I like to add a sharp edge onto my models or my hair. Sorry. So for example, I can do this, right? Okay, that didn't scale on the part I wanted to. Maybe this one. No, still no. Maybe this one. Still no. That has to be this one, right? Yeah. So now you can see how I kind of give it like this sharp edge over here, which I just think makes it look a little bit nicer. But now we're gonna actually do like the actual like anime hair part, which is where it looks kind of flat. Because as you can see from this now, you can see each and every single one of the strands, which is not very good. And also, oh yeah, also after you do the circle manipulation part, there might be some gaps in the hair some places, so you kind of wanna fix that up real quick. It doesn't take that long. Yeah. It's basically fixed now, but yeah, it just takes like a few minor fixes basically. Oh, I forgot to add the little hair strand at the top, so we're just gonna do that real quick. It's just one. It's just like this. So what you're gonna do is you kind of wanna just bit too big. Something like that, basically. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit backwards, actually. Maybe something like that, right? All right. So this looks pretty decent so far. I'll say this is pretty alright. Doesn't look exactly like a reference, but I would say it's alright. It's alright. So what you want to do now is you want to hide the head. You want to take all of these strands. Oops. You want to merge them together, so it's all a single mesh, right? Now this mesh is gonna be extremely high poly, but we're gonna fix that real quick. So then you wanna press this and you wanna convert to mesh, and now as you see, it's gonna be so high poly, bro. Damn. Uh, what I would do here is I would save, obviously. So I'm just gonna make this female hair tutorial. Can't spell. And then I would say just make a copy of this just in case. So we're just gonna make original, like this scene is gonna be called original. Then we're gonna duplicate it, and this is gonna be called completed. Then we want to hide this scene right here, so we can only see the completed one. Again, hide the face. Sorry. Now what you want to do is you want to add a sphere, and you wanna fit it to the hair shape, right? So this is, you wanna kind of fit it like this, maybe a little bit bigger. You wanna fit every single part of the hair, basically. Um, maybe scale it down. Actually, no, that's pretty good. Yeah. Actually, no, should we scale it down a little bit? Yeah, I think we should. Actually, no, it needs to be scaled up a little bit. Interesting. So we want to do something like this, right? So now it kind of looks like an egg for me, but it might not look this way for you, but it depends. What you're gonna do now, first of all, is that you want to hide this again. You want to go to this. You want to add a decimate modifier, and you just want to drag this down, right? I usually like to drag it like all the way down, this, and then just slowly incline it up like this. Maybe 0.02 is usually like the range I like to go for. Yeah, because 5K. Okay, this looks pretty bad right now. I get it, but we're just gonna want to apply this. And I like to merge this in as well, just to remove some extra vertices, and then auto smooth. This has to be on. Remember this, because this is really important for the next step. So after this, we wanna unhide. Oops, we wanna unhide the sphere, and we want to go to this. We want to add a modifier, edit. You want to add a data transfer. You want to select the source, which is gonna be the sphere. You want to add face corner data, right? So we're gonna do this. And now for the sphere, you want to go here. You want to go to generate, subdivision, and you want to crank this up. I like to do at like 5 or 6. For this, I'm just going to do 5, but then you're going to want to apply it. You want to go back to the hair, and then you want to click this custom normal mapping, right? And then you want to have this settings, nearest corner and best matching normal face. And then you just want to click apply and delete the sphere. And now you're gonna have like this anime hair look, right? That's like really flat, right? That's because we transfer the normals. So now that we have this, we can go ahead and apply a material. Um, this is a bit of a mess, so I can't really mark seams on this. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna smart UV project, and then we wanna hop on over into Substance Painter. So now that we're in Substance Painter, after exporting the hair, of course, we just want to import it. It's gonna look like this. Pretty decent. We're gonna want to go up here to bake mode. I like to put it on 1024 because why not? And we're just gonna bake the hair, right? Now this hair in the original reference had no color, so but I would say this. I might make this like an orange hair because why not? Because I cause shout out to gingers, bro. Shout out to gingers. So what I like to do is I like to go into base color instead of material. I like to go into base color. We're gonna add a filler. We're gonna scroll all the way down. We're gonna remove these thingies except roughness. We're just gonna crank roughness all the way up. Excuse me. Then we're gonna add another fill layer. This is gonna be, you're gonna want to call this base color basically. So base color. So for this, I would say like I'm gonna make this like an orange here, like something like this, right? I think that looks pretty cool. Uh, then what you want to do is you want to add another layer. Uh, right click, add a black mask, generator, and maybe curvature. So yeah, now you might see something like this, right? Now it's your option. You can either like go like this, do something like that, and just make it like a little bit darker, like something like that, right? Or what you could do is what I like to do is I like to set this layer to multiply, and then I just like to play around with these settings a little bit, so it kind of looks a little bit better. All depends. Uh, maybe like a little bit lighter, so I mean darker, so you can kind of see the hair strands and stuff. And then what I like to do is I like to do this black mask filler, and then this is called material 1. So I like to add the ambient occlusion map, right? So this is the ambient occlusion. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a levels, and now we can just kind of play around with this. So you guys can see you get more ambient occlusion or you get less basically. Um, so now you're just gonna kind of want to play around with these settings. This is the darkest and this is the lighter, right? So as you can see, the more you move them, the closer they are to the lighter side, it will like kind of disappear, and towards the darker side, it will like more of it will appear, right? But I would just keep this on 0 and 1 and just kind of move this around, right? Because it's just a lot simpler. I like to I don't know where to put this. I'll just kind of copy this, make it a little bit darker. Actually, no, maybe a bit lighter. Actually, yeah, a bit lighter. It's gonna look pretty good for this here. But then we're just gonna kind of play around with this a little bit, see like where we kind of end up. So I think that looks pretty okay. Yeah. So I think this is where I'm like gonna end off this here tutorial. So I'm just gonna go file, export textures, export as a flat color. Here commissions tutorial hair. Choose that folder, export it, go back into Substance. I mean Blender, sorry. Go here, enable diffuse color, shading here. We're just gonna find the file that I put it in. So right here, and yeah, there we have it, guys. It's not might not be the best here, but it's pretty decent, alright. It's pretty decent. I kind of, and as you can see, like you want to fix these like irregularities sometimes. They just happen. Like it's alright. I didn't check this hair before importing it, so kind of my fault. But yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something new from this tutorial. And as always, join my Discord to always stay updated on whenever I post these kinds of videos, and just to ask for help. You can also just ask for help or just hang out. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.